Hey, welcome to science. I wanted to start off today with a quick review on different types of needs. Now, we talked about a need is something that you have to have so you will not die. And we talked about different needs that living things have. We talked specifically about three different ones: basic, produced, and non-material. Does anyone remember what is a basic need? So a basic need is one you can just find lying around, right? It just exists by itself. You could pick it up from the floor, from the ground outside. It's just lying around. So look at my pictures right here and start thinking about which of these needs do you think is a basic need? All right, our next one is produce need. A produce need is still something you need, but someone or something has to make it first. Someone or something has to make it first. Those are produced needs. Remember, a producer is someone who makes something to sell. So think of produced as being something like that. So which of my needs up here do you think are produced needs? Someone or something has to make them first. All right, my last one is non-material needs. And these are needs that you can't quite hold in your hand. They exist, but they're not physical. They're not something you can hold. So which of these do you think are non-material needs? All right, well, let's start in this top right here in this picture of a sun. What do you think? Is a sun basic, produced, or non-material? Well, for non-material, it technically is something you can't hold the sun in your hand, but it's something that exists. It's a material, it's physical, you can see it in front of you. So it's not non-material. God made the sun, but outside of that, no one made it. So the sun is a basic need. It's something you just walk outside and the sun is there. You don't have to worry about it. All right, our next one. I have a shelter for an animal, a hole that an animal live. Let's think through this. Well, it's definitely not non-material because you can hold it in your hand. It's right there. It's physical. You can touch it. It's definitely not basic because someone or something has to make it. The animal has to dig the hole to be able to live there. So a shelter or someplace you can stay is a produced need. I have a human shelter or a cabin right here, so I'm going to put that with my animal shelter and produce need. Bam. All right, right here, I have some water. There's also a dolphin in a football. Ignore that. Just pay attention to the water. Now, water is definitely material. I can hold it in my hand, no problem there. It's not produced in that I can just find it around. Now, if you're talking about filtered water or special water like that, you have to make that's different. But it's a basic need. It's something I can just go outside and find fresh water in a lake or through the rain. All right, now let's talk about safety. Okay, so safety isn't really a basic need. I can't just find safety lying around in the ground or in the sky. It's not really produced. No one really makes safety. It is a non-material need. It's something, it exists, it's real, but you can't touch it, you can't hold it. It is just there. All right, now this one is one of the hardest ones. And this one, if you were with me for our field trip on Thursday, you would know. If you get this wrong on the test, I'm not going to count it against you. I don't even think it's a question on the test. But here's the one for food. What do you think? Is food basic, produced, or non-material? What do you think? What do you think? If you're with someone, see if they can guess. All right. Well, obviously, it's not non-material because like you can hold food in your hand, it's physical, you can touch it. So we've had a lot of debate about if it's basic or it's a produced need. And food is actually usually counted as a produced need. Now, most people count it as a basic need because you can just go outside and maybe pick an orange or something like that. An animal could go outside and eat grass. But the part of the food that you actually need for your energy is made by plants. If you've heard of photosynthesis, the plants make the part of the food you need for your energy. So when the rabbit eats the grass, they're eating the thing that the plant had made for energy. Or if a person eats an animal, the part of the animal they're using for the part of the meat they're using for food is the part that the animal had taken from the plant, which the plant had made. Also, for most of our food that we eat, someone does have to make it. So food is technically a produced material. But again, if you say it's a basic need, I won't count you as wrong. That makes sense. All right, the last one is smarts or intelligence. All right, it's not a basic need. It's not a produced need. No one makes it. It is a non-material need because it's something, it exists. But if I said, hey, can you give me some smarts? You'd be like, what? No. But it is something that animals and people need to survive. They need to have some smarts. So that's the difference between basic, produced, and non-material. For everything else, you guys have been doing a great job at answering the questions. I think you'll be good. As a reminder, living in groups help animals be able to survive because there's lots of them around to keep each other safe would be one reason. Also, a habitat or an environment is the things all around the animal that help them to live. And be thinking about what happens when something from an animal's habitat or environment goes away and how that will affect the animal because everything affects the animals in different ways. And I think besides that, you'll be good for science today. Have fun. Let me know if you have any questions. Complete the quizzes. And I left you a video on some notes for how to use quizzes to study because this quizzes I want you to use to study for your test. So make sure you watch that so you'll know how to use it for study for your test on Wednesday. All right, bye guys.